Well, huge welcome everybody to our Hour of Power. I am super excited this morning. I know those of you know me know I'm always excited. However, I am even more excited. I've been looking forward to this call for a little while now. I'm just back from the States, and so it's a great way to be able to kickstart back into the week here. This morning we have an awesome gentleman that I had the pleasure of getting to meet actually at the Direct Selling Association's conference. I'd heard of Keith before, but it was really lovely to actually be able to meet in person. And when we connected and he agreed to be able to share some wisdom with you guys, I was thrilled. And for those of you who came to Q School, you already got to receive a beautiful gift, one of Keith's books and that. But let me officially kind of tell you a little bit about him. So Keith Abraham is a multi-award-winning speaker, a best-selling author of 5 books published in 12 different languages. So if you're multilingual, there you go, you're covered. In his 21 years speaking career, he has presented to more than 1.5 million people in 29 different countries. What is more telling is that 93% of his clients have used him more than once. 57% have asked him back more than 6 times, and 34% of his global clients have used him every year for more than 10 years. And I know we were just talking beforehand, he's off to Alaska and then South Africa, and also over the next couple of months as well. For more than 20 years, Keith has researched how top-performing people harness their passion, achieve their goals, and focus on what's most important to bring the best out of themselves and for their businesses. So I am absolutely thrilled to welcome the guru of goal setting, Mr. Keith Abraham, today.
Oh, absolutely, very kind, thank you. I don't know if I'm the guru of goal setting, but no, here's what I've learned along the way. Is that I believe people either can live their life and run their business either like a tourist or like an explorer. Hopefully everyone knows what I mean by that. I don't know about you personally. I love to travel. I love getting on a plane. I love going places. But when I travel, I don't want to be a tourist. I do not want to follow somebody with a flag and have a name tag on. So I want to make sure that when I travel that I'm an explorer. Now, what I mean by that is I like to go and eat with the locals eat, drink with the locals drink, shop with a local shop. I hope people can relate to this. I don't know about you. I think I'm a little weird sometimes. I actually love going to foreign supermarkets.
Okay.
I love going to foreign supermarkets and going, what is that? Why is it still alive? So I like doing that.
Well,
and one of the things I love to do when I travel as well is just have that opportunity to really explore. And why do I bring that up? Because I believe that you have to be an explorer in your own life and to explore the possibilities and think about what's possible, what's important, what matters, and what makes a difference to you. You see, what I've learned along the way is that when the why becomes clear, the how becomes easy. And all too often we spend all of our energy and effort focusing on what and how. But until we know the why, we'll never do the uncomfortable and the inconvenient. And so part of this process I'd like to spend the next, less than an hour now with you, is to spend some time and talk about, what's most important to you? What are you passionate about? What are your plans? How are you going to make progress? And more importantly, to be able to focus on what counts. You can't focus on those key areas unless you have a goal. So I want to spend some time and give you some practical hints and tips. And I know some people are listening to this at their computer, in their home, at their desk. I know some people are probably driving along and listening to this. I just want to be able to give you some strategies, and also I'll give you some resources at the end of it that you can download and help you on that journey. So I always think one of the great explorers, but he's never classed as an explorer, was Walt Disney. And I'm not sure how many people have been to Disneyland. I've been fortunate. I've been to Disneyland twice. The first time I went to Disneyland, I was with my wife and my 2 daughters. And they were only young. Oh, wow. This is probably 10 or 15 years ago. I now have a 19-year-old and a 17-year-old. And when I went there, I bought a copy of the autobiography of Walt Disney called Walt. And it had this wonderful story that the reason why Disneyland came about was not because of a commercial reason. The reason why Disneyland came about is because his 2 daughters on a Saturday, he'd take them somewhere. He'd take them to a Santa Monica Pier, to a local county fair. He'd take them to a local park. But wherever he went, he was always disappointed. The place was either run poorly, it was unclean, there was dodgy people around. He said, you know what, there's got to be a better way for families to come together. And so we went and bought 168 acres, an hour outside of Los Angeles, and started creating what we now know today as Disneyland. But, he had enough money to buy the land. He didn't have enough money to build the facility. And it was going to cost him $15 million in 1950 to build the facility. Long story short, he was able to borrow the money. It took him over 462 financiers before somebody said yes. So here's the question I've got for everybody: is how big's your dream, and how tenacious are you to pursue it, even though people say no, it's not for me. I don't think it'll work for you, but not for me. Because we have to be tenacious. And what a big goal does, what a big reason does, is it gives us that ability to push through the no's. It gives us the ability to push through the inconvenient, the uncomfortable, the difficult, the changes we have to make personally to be able to grow, to become the best version of ourselves, not the second best version of somebody else. And so I love the quote from Walt Disney, and let me just pop it up here on my computer. He said, first think, second believe, third dream, and finally dare. You have to think about what's important to you. You have to think about the goals that you want to achieve. You have to believe enough in yourself that you're worthy, deserving, and capable of achieving those dreams. You have to dream those big dreams. And more importantly, you have to dare. You have to dare to take the first step. Because unless you take the first step, it's just a dream. It's never a goal. And so the ability to stop and to take that first step, to leap out and to dream those big dreams and believe enough in yourself to be able to do that is absolutely vital. So let me talk a little bit about, I've written now, as Celine mentioned, 5 best-selling books published in 12 different languages. I'm big in Russia. I don't know how. I'm big in Russia. We sold 24,000 books in a day in Russia.
Wow.
Look, I'm not quite sure if they're reading them or using them for firewood, but whatever gets the job done.
Exactly.
So, that part of the world is just going through a huge personal growth, being starved of that for a long time. But one of the things that I talk a lot about is about passion. And the thing that I know about passion is that your life will fit into 4 categories. There are things in your life that you love to do. There are things in your life that you like to do. There are things in your life that you have to do. And there's things in your life that you hate to do. And what I can say for a fact is that if you have nothing in the top 2, if you have nothing in the areas that you love to do and like to do, and your life is consumed by the things you have to do and hate to do, let me give you a highly technical term. After 15 years of research, is your life is crappy. And so we need to make sure that you got the things that you love to do and like to do in your life. What I also learned along the way is that the real key with this process is that you need to make sure that you are passionate about something. And so the suggestion I've got for you is that your passion fits into 2 categories. You're either passionate about the things that you love to do and you make an income from it, or you go and make an income so you can go and do the things that you're passionate about. For all too many people in Australia and New Zealand and in most of the Western world, for all too many people, it's neither either. It's that they exist, they endure, they don't enjoy. And so it's really important that you use your Juice Plus business as the vehicle to do the things that you love to do. Now, you may love Juice Plus. Maybe this is it for you. But on the opposite hand, you may think, this is a great vehicle to put my kids in a better school, to take them to Disneyland, have a nice car, to be able to achieve, be in a nice home and or to give money to charity or whatever it might be. It's a vehicle. So one of the things that I strongly suggest you do, now if you're listening to this, then I know we're recording this, so if you're listening to this later, here's what I'd love you to do. Take a moment and write down what are the 3 things that you're passionate about apart from your family. I've been doing this now for 21 years as a professional, and everyone says they're passionate about their family. Me too, I'm passionate about my wife. I've been married to Christine for almost 25 years now. Actual fact, it's 25 years to this month. So I'm passionate about my wife. I'm passionate about educating my two daughters, not in a schooling sense, but in a life sense. So they've been on lots of trips with me and with Christine, and we've given them some different experiences. So to make them, to round out their personality, we want them to be, I want my girls to be passionate, obviously, but I want them to be compassionate, and I want them to be confident. The other thing I'm passionate about is the work I do. I've been doing this for 21 years. Somebody said to me yesterday, I had lunch with a client of mine, and they said, if you didn't, do you love this? It's not a job to me. It's not a career. It's a crusade. My crusade is to help people set goals. I've helped people set more than 14 million goals. And that's not by chance, that's by choice. Because I just know that if you are achieving the goals that are important to you, you are going to be you're going to be the best version of you. You're going to be the living example for the people who mean the world to you. Your kids, your partner. And I think as leaders in your business and in your life, you have to be the living example, not the talking example. Because it's too easy to be the talking example. I learned this a long time ago. My kids are young teenagers. They'll only do what I do. They won't do what I say. Not that they're disrespectful, but we're all congruent if we're doing the things that people do. So, for example, I can't say to my kids, I think you should have a goal if I don't have one. I can't say to my people in my business, well, you should have a goal if I don't have one. I can't say you should be a problem solver if I'm not. I can't have a positive attitude if I'm always looking for the negative. So you have to be this living example. So it's important for people to write down one of the three things they're passionate about, apart from their family. Here's the other things I'm passionate about. So obviously families are given. Business is, absolutely second on the list. Passionate about travel. I'm passionate about photography. I fell in love with photography about 8 years ago. I would be what you would call a pro-am photographer, which means professional/amateur photographer, which means I have all the gear but no idea. I think that one of the things that you got to do is you got to have something in your life that you're passionate about. So please go away and do that. The next piece of the puzzle is I'm just going to apologise to everybody. I'm just battling a virus or a flu. I've been on the back-to-back conferences about 5 weeks, so I'm a little croaky. I don't normally sound like this, and you see me sipping my ginger tea here. It's not being disrespectful. I don't want to conk out a voice before the end of the show.
It's all good, Keith. It's all good.
And look, the other thing God, as everybody's online, please, if you've got a question, I'm happy to stop and go down the other track there. And somebody wrote a nice little comment here. Walt Disney, Catherine Lee, Walt Disney is my church. Yeah, absolutely. I love anything to do with Walt Disney, just a great visionary. And I love that quote. It says, all dreams can come true if we have the courage to pursue them.
Yes.
And for each of us listening, is we just have to be, you don't have to be courageous all day. You just have to be brave for 5 minutes longer.
I love that.
It's you just have to be brave for 5 minutes longer. And I just think that it's so often, we just think, I have to do this all day. No. And what does that look like, Selena, in real life? In your world, pick up the phone, calling that prospect who you think, I don't think they're going to be interested. Yeah, they are. They are. Maybe not now, maybe later. It's having that difficult or fierce conversation with somebody that says, hey, listen, you need to, you got the potential to do this. You just have to take the first step. And just backing it, believing in yourself, backing yourself. And of course, that comes with confidence. So write down the three things you're passionate about. Next thing you want to start to think a little bit about is, excuse me, is you really need to start to think about, what is it that you need to do to be able to move yourself forward. So one of the things I talk a lot about is making sure you've got a list of 100 goals. And so if you go to my website, there is 25 questions to get you started on your list of 100 goals. And people say, how did I help people set more than 14 million goals? Simple. I get people to write down 100 goals they want to achieve in their lifetime. And you think, that's a bit childlike. But let me give you some stats around this. So about 35 years ago, I went to a Rotary leadership camp. And this guy stood up on the last day of 7 days 7 days to tell us that we can be anything, do anything, achieve anything, and have anything. And he said, I want you to write down 100 things you want to do. And so they said, grab a piece of paper, go and find a shady tree, which I thought was really easy for me because I actually worked in the council, so I knew definitely how to find a shady tree on a hot day. And start your list of, start your life to-do list. And I wrote down 6 things and I stopped. It was the longest 90 minutes of my life. And I thought, geez, life's going to be short if I can only get 6 things written down. The 7th thing I wrote down was finish this list. I was looking for anything at the time. So, but I finally got, it took me 6 weeks to get 100, and I'm on my 8th list. And, but about 17 years ago, I started a research project. And I said, excuse me, and I said, if I know how many goals I've set and achieved, I wonder what the norm is. Excuse me. I wonder what the norm is. And so we said to people, a couple of thousand people, we said, send us your list of 100. We'll send you my book, and we'll hold them for 3 years. And then we'll send it back to you after 3 years. And the only thing you have to do to complete the circle is send us an email. Excuse me. Send us an email and tell us what you've achieved. Number. You don't tell us the action, just tell us the number. Of the 100, 1, 5, 20, 100, whatever.
Yeah. So after 3 years, the average, after we've done this survey with a couple of thousand people, the average is 40. So one of the things I say to people is that, do you think your life might change if you go and achieve 40 goals? Do you think your life might change if you achieve 40 goals in the next 3 years? And the beautiful part about that is, as you achieve one goal, a door opens up. As you achieve another goal, another door opens up. And what if I'm half right? 20 is great. If you left it with me for 2 more years, so now it's 5 years, it's close to 70. You reckon your life might change if you achieve 70 goals in the next 5 years? Big, small, personal, professional, confidence grows. And so it's important to go away and start to think about what those goals are. Now, I've created a process that talks about the 25 questions. And, without going through the questions today, look, I'm happy for people to go to my website and download that as it's in the resource area on my website. So, excuse me, as part of the process. But let me just, people go, I have lots of people when I do this in a workshop. Excuse me. I am getting excited. I'm losing my voice. It's good. It's all good.
I have people say, I couldn't write down 100. I say, yes, you can. I can get anybody to 100. I don't say that arrogantly. See, if I can ask you 25 questions and you come up with 4 answers for each question, there's your 100. Now, I'm a realist. There are some questions you might not write anything down, but there will be other questions you'll write down 10 answers. Could you think of 10 countries you love to visit?
Yes, you just answered a question generally asked, if travel is a goal, would you itemize each country and experience? Yes.
Absolutely. Give you an example. I'd love to go to Peru. Goal 1. I'd love to go to Peru and visit Machu Picchu. Love to go to the US. I love to, Route 66, go top of the rock, top of the Rockefeller Center. So, it's starting to get those things because the more energy you get around. And actually, I'm going to do this. Hold on, let me whack my glasses on here. Let me go through some of the questions. Can you tell me four places in the world you'd love to live for an extended period of time? About 4 years ago, I was in Positano with my wife, my 2 girls. We were on a family trip. I got to Positano. I said to my wife, Christine, I said, this place is fantastic. I love it. I don't know what the connection is. I could live here for 4 weeks. I could live here. I could write another book. I'd love to do that. I can speak fluent Italian. Pizza, pasta, Peroni. Gelato. They'd get me by. I don't need anything. Yeah. I'd get by. So could you think of 4 financial milestones you'd love to achieve in your life? Could you think of, so whether it's paying off the house, buying an investment property, having a $100,000 in the bank, $10,000 in the bank, half the credit. Could you think of that? Could you think of the Northern Lights? And someone just wrote down the Northern Lights. I'd love to go to the Northern Lights. That's so here's the question that revolves around the Northern Lights. Could you think of 4 natural wonders of the world that you'd love to go to? Could you think of 4 ancient wonders of the world, the pyramids? Could you think of 4 man-made wonders of the world? Start to think about some of those things that you'd love to do. A couple other questions here. What are 4 goals that you've achieved that you'd love to achieve again? To do it again, maybe. What's something on the opposite of that? What's one thing you'd like to do only once? Yeah, parachute, running with the bulls, with somebody slower than you.
I love it.
What could that be? Can you tell me 4 countries? But more importantly, tell me 4 things you'd love to do in Australia. See, I've never been to the Birdsville races. I'd like to do that. Could you think of 4 things you'd love to do in your own state that you haven't done? So, all of a sudden, it's easy to get people to 100. That's the process. The magic is as you start to do that, you start to gain some bigger reasons why. And, as I said before, when the why becomes clear, the how becomes easy. Oh, hey, Adam. Good to see you there, mate. Thanks for jumping online. Adam Westwick and Kira, just fabulous friends of ours, and he says I've been an amazing mentor, but he's done so much for us as well.
We might get to pop some Juice Plus around here.
I think you better. I've been taking vitamins. It's obviously not working enough for me.
Get him on the juice there, Adam. Come on, you're slacking, mate.
Get on the juice. So good. Someone mentioned that I think I'd struggle to limit to 4. It doesn't matter if you've got a list of 200. Here's why the 100 is so important. Anybody can write down 20, 40, 50, 60. When you start getting 70, 80, 90, 100, excuse me, when you start getting 70, 80, 90, 100, you really start to dig deep. Yeah. And you start to bring up those things that you have suppressed and pushed to one side because you didn't think you were worthy, deserving, capable, had the talent or the resources to achieve. And that's the value.
And I think that kind of leads back to, I'll give you a second there to catch your breath.
I'm going to have a third one.
Sorry, everybody. It comes back to what you were saying about what Walt Disney said then. You start to unlock that unconscious belief in dreaming again too, isn't it, as the further you go? Because we can kind of do a lot of the surface stuff first. We get those things that kind of are easy to pop to mind. But when we got to dig that a little bit deeper, to really start to write some things down, we start to really unlock the subconscious. And like you say, those things that maybe we've pushed down, that Walt Disney kind of dared us all to dream, to believe and to dream and to imagine what it was that we could do.
Yeah, and I think one of the challenges there is that we become serious. We become adults, we become serious, and we start writing down goals that are what I call society goals. So what does that look like? Get a good education, get a good job, find a loving partner, have kids, buy a house, become successful in your profession, retire well, be great grandparents. They're society goals. Everyone has that expectation. So we limit ourselves. Well, why not travel the world? Why not pursue your passion? Why not live overseas for a couple of months? Well, why not? People do it. It's like everything you've written down, somebody has done before on this planet. If you write down you want to live on Mars, that's going to happen. Well, I say to people, as I said, my girls are 17 and 19. And I made the comment is that in my girls' lifetime, they will commute to London for work, in and back in the day. They'll be launched out of a rocket, an hour down, 90 minutes at the most. That'll happen. I mean, electric cars, all that sort of stuff. That all starts with a dream. All right, let's move on. So once you've got your list of 100, 4 key areas to set your goals in. They're all P goals, by the way. Professional, what do you want to achieve in your business? In your Juice Plus business, what do you want to achieve in the next 12 months? Second, personal. They're to do with travel. They're to do with your personal goals and your family. Third is physical. That's your health, your fitness, and your strength. And what I mean by strength, not necessarily going pumping iron, but what I mean by strength is strength of mind, strength of character, strength of spirit, strength of soul. And the final is profitable. They're everything to do with how much money you want to save, how much money you want to spend, purchases you want to make, the financial goals you want to achieve next 12 months. Maybe it's get out of debt, maybe it's get into debt, maybe it's to set yourself up further down the track. And so it could be as simple as, wow, I'm 30 years of age. I've got, I've got a child and a partner, but I don't have a will in place. It could be as simple as just doing that. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So I just think one of the things that people need to do is just to start to say, what are all those things? Now, when I say those 4 areas, you can have as many goals in each area, but make sure you've got one in each area so you balance out your life. So if everything was just about business, you'll be successful at business, but the rest of your life will be a mess. Yeah. We all know people that are financially successful, their relationships are crap, or their health is crap, or you get the picture. Yeah. So making sure people do that. The other thing I wanted to share with people is this one process around. So I've been a student of the goal setting process for the last 8 years, the last 30 years. And so I know a lot about goal setting because I've been a student and I've tested things and some things haven't worked and I've mentored lots of high performance, whether they be in sport or in business or in life. I've mentored a whole stack of people. And so you know what works and what doesn't work. And here's what I've recognised. The missing link, so the question I kept on asking myself is why do smart, intelligent people set realistic, tangible goals and they don't achieve them? Because they've got the talent, they've got the ability, they've got the time, why don't they achieve? And the missing link is they don't have the emotional connection. So if you're going to set a goal that you have got a relationship with and that you are connected with, that you need to have, and let me just go through this a couple of times. You need to have an emotional, mental, and physical connection to it. What's an emotional connection? Why? What's the mental connection? What? What's the physical connection? How? Feel, think, do. How do you want to feel? What do you think you want to achieve? What do you need to do to make it come true? So if you want to put it even in more context, it's heart, head, hands. See, when you can get an emotional connection to the goal, a reason why, you'll be committed to it. You won't be interested, you'll be committed. And so one of the challenges that people do have is they write, and now I learned how to set goals this way. Write a goal down, make sure it's specific, put a deadline when you want to achieve it, and go and take action. That was the first goal-setting talk that I got, in essence. And then, of course, we hear about SMART goals. Specific, measurable, attainable, realistic, tangible. They don't work. They work for companies. They don't work for individuals because they need to be smarter goals. You need an emotional connection and you need to reward yourself along the way. So what I've done is I've created a blueprint, and I'm going to give you a website and a tick, and you can download this form. So if you're feverishly writing, it's okay. I got an A3 for everybody that they can copy and use with their teams and things like that. There's 8 steps. Now, when I do this in a workshop and a seminar, it takes me about 15, 17 minutes to get people to do this process. The really cool part about it is once I've done it once with you, it then takes you 5 to 7 minutes to do it a second time. Right. Because it's simple. Even though it's 8 steps, it's simple. And the cool part about it is you can teach this to your people and you can really get them connected to the goal. So is everyone ready? I'm ready. I'm going to give you the 8 steps, and then I'm going to talk about focus. And so here's the first step. You've got to have to write down a goal. So let me put this into perspective. If you could only achieve one goal in the next 12 months, what would that one goal be? Now, I know you're going to achieve 5 or 10. Now, listen, I've got 14 goals I want to achieve this year. But in essence, if I could only achieve one, what would be that one goal? So you can do this personally. You can do this professionally. So think about your Juice Plus business for a tick. If there was one goal you want to achieve in the next 12 months, what would that goal be in your Juice Plus business? What would be that number one goal? And here's the measure. If I ran into the street, oh, Keith, I heard you on that webinar. You know, you were great. Hopefully you say that to me. You know, you were okay. Oh, I got one thing out of it. What would that one goal be that you could say to me, I've had an absolutely unbelievably fantastic year? Absolutely unbelievably fantastic year. What would that one goal be? Now, you have to write that down in specific detail. So when I say to people often say, and Adam knows this, people often say to me, I want to lose weight. That's not a goal. That's a hope. You know, that's hope without hours and empty promise. That's like hoping. Oh, I hope I'm going to lose weight. You know, no. Specifically tell me how much weight or how much percentage of body fat or you know, how many kilos. But that's not enough. You then have to write down. So one of my goals, I want to be 75 kilos, slim, healthy, energized. So you can be 75 kilos and really crook.
Yeah, true.
So you have to be specific. That's step number one. So your Juice Plus business, I don't know your business as well as you do, but you know, it's like I want to have, you know, 100 people in my team. No, that's not the goal. The goal is I want to have 100 energized, enthused, engaged leaders in my business growing at a pace either as fast as me or faster than me. Can you see the difference?
Mm-hmm.
You go to sponsor 100 people and they're using the product and that's it. Or, you know, better still, consistent users of our product. Reordering on a consistent, regular basis. You have to tell your subconscious exactly what you want. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Perfect. Step 2, a specific date. You've got to write down the day, the date, the month, the year. What? By the day of the week. Because you know what? You want to be honing in on exactly what it is. I always think of Olympic marksmen or markswomen. They don't go to the Olympics and aim at the target. They aim at the bullseye. So why wouldn't you pick exactly the day? What would you I just think, did you see my number one goal? Oh, somebody, Adam, that's nasty. So one of the things that I'd say is, what's that number one goal you want to achieve, you know, and putting the date alongside. So that's really important. Here's the second thing. The third thing I should say. You have to write down 3 feelings. Ooh, the blokes on the line with feelings. Well, every adult can experience 135 different feelings. Of the 135, just under half are negative, just over half are positive. Of those emotions, you need to be able to say, when I achieve this goal, I'm going to feel this, this, and this. And let me give you a couple of examples of that. So here are the top. I'm not going to go through all 30 of these, but here are some of the things that people often will experience. They're going to feel exhilarated, confident, proud, happy, energized, consistent, hopeful, glorious, content. One word that's come up a lot is people are going to feel accomplished. People often say, I'm going to feel relieved. Now, when anybody says something like relieved to me, automatically I know that that goal's been hanging around for a while. So you have to write down 3 emotions and how you feel. Because unless you get juiced up about it, no pun intended, unless you get juiced up about it, you won't be committed. you'll be interested.
Mm.
Step 4, as part of this process, is you now have to write down 5 reasons why. Why do you want to achieve this goal in that time frame? You have to tell me 5 reasons why. Because unless you can tell me 5 reasons why, any excuse will do. Too hot, too cold, too many, too few, too little, too much. Any excuse will do. Excuse me, time for a little bit more tea. You got it there, so it's in the...
I do. I have it here. Yeah, it's awesome. In fact, one of the guys from at Q School already has it filled out and up on the wall. One of them that I know of straight away, and that as well. So yes, a powerful, powerful piece of paper here.
Can you just hold that up again? So can everyone see that? So you're going to be able to download a version of that. It won't be that one colour. It'll be probably pink, or it'll be something like this. So you'll be able to download that. All right, so 5 reasons why. Now let me say this to you. Unless you can tell me 5 reasons why, it's just not important enough to you. And if you come up with 3, you're probably not committed to it. If I'm going to be honest with people,
yeah,
that's the truth. Step number 5 is you now have to identify 3 key milestones. Excuse me. So the 3 key milestones that you need to look at achieving. So the first milestone is 30 days from today, and the second milestone is 90 days from today, and the third milestone is 6 months from today. If you want a pro tip, you want to make the first milestone easy, and why do you need to make it easy? So you can achieve it. Because you want to create momentum. You don't want to be motivated. You want to create. You don't want to put a wall up in front of you. You want to make sure that you have the ability to achieve that. And one of the things I often say is, I don't know if people travel too much in the States, but if you want to go, if you're in LA and you want to go to beautiful downtown Tulsa, you have to go through Denver. If you're on Southwest, you have no choice. You have to go through Denver because Denver's a hub. And when you start thinking about this goal setting process, what's the first goal you have to go through? You have to get to that first milestone before you can get to the next and the next and the next. If your goal is 6 months from now, halve all the milestones. But once again, make the first milestone easy. Step number 6 is you have to now be very, very honest with yourself. And what do I mean by that? Hand on heart, no BS time. You have to say to yourself, what do you need to stop doing in your life or in your business? What do you need to start doing? What do you need to do more of? What do you need to do less of? So maybe you need to stop procrastinating. Are there any procrastinators on this webinar? Normally when I do a seminar,
be honest.
Yeah. Normally when I ask a question in a workshop that I do, I say, just put your hand up, you're procrastinating. Right. Oh, that's me, I'm a procrastinator. And I say, normally when I ask that question, procrastinators normally put their hands up like this. Get back to that. So, what do you need to stop doing? What do you need to start doing? What do you need to do more of? What do you need to do less of? And the reason why I talk about this is because I believe all of us have got a plate about this big. And you can only have so much on your plate. So you have to take something off your plate to allow the goal to come in onto your plate. And sometimes you're going to have to, resign from the PTA or, from the, PNC to get your business done, to give you back those few hours that you need to be able, or whatever it might be. I'm just using that as an example. Maybe it's like, you know what, I'm going to stop doing that so I can have some more time to build this business. And it's not forever, by the way. It's not forever. The beautiful part about your business is you have great momentum. And so once you get it going, it stays going. And so it's always hard part, like any venture, is getting it started.
Yeah.
That's why it's about stopping and saying, what do you need to stop doing? What do you need to start doing? More of is that, I sometimes prospect, but I don't do it all the time. So how do you become more consistent in that? And there's some things that you need to do less of, but you can't totally stop doing it because of commitments or promises you made or whatever. So that's important. The next step, step number 7, is what will I see? So when I achieve this goal, what will I visually see? I'll see myself walking across stage, or I'll see myself getting the award, or I'll see the money coming into my bank account, or I'll see myself walking into the new home, or what will I see? Because each of us at the back of our head here has a thing called a reticular activating system. And what we mean by the reticular activating system is that your subconscious starts to hone in and identify the things that you want. The classic example for this is that when, have you ever decided that you want to buy a new car? That's the only car you see.
Yeah.
You're driving around, there's another one, there's another one, there's another one. Now, they were always there before, but you're now visually aware because your subconscious is now connecting with your consciousness.
Mm-hmm.
So it's important to have a really clearly defined vision and that you can hone in on. And the last piece of the puzzle is, what do you do in the next 30 days? Because at the end of the day, it's like, what's next? What are the 5 things that I need to do in the next 30 days to get myself to that first milestone?
Mm.
Now, I don't always say this to people, but here's the really cool part about it, is that once you have the goal, then on a regular basis, you want to be reading that goal sheet. But more importantly, in essence, you let go of it so that you just focus on doing the things that you need to do, doing the things that you need to do in the next 30 days. Because if you don't do the things in the next 30 days, it doesn't matter about the goal.
Yeah.
You're not hand on heart being honest with you. You have to do what's in between. And that really comes back to focus. So I know some of you have got this, international best-selling book. Sorry, did I say that out loud? I love it. Here's the thing that I say to people is that we don't have a time issue. We don't have a dream issue. We have a focus issue. We need to be able to get people to focus on what's important, what matters, and what makes a difference. And here's the point that most people just don't truly understand, is that we have to starve our distractions and feed our focus. But to be able to feed our focus, we have to have something we're going to focus on.
Yeah.
People say to me, you read out my stats before, and, the amount of clients that come back and use this time and time again. People say, how do you do that? And I go, well, I contact 7 people every day. 5 days a week, I make 7 phone calls to clients, prospects, and I just say, how's things going? And, that's a ritual. So if you want to starve your distractions and feed your focus, then start to have what are the daily not negotiables. Julie, you asked the question, is the book on audio? Yes, it is. On my website, keithabraham.com, we might also do this plug now. On my website, keithabraham.com, is there's a couple of books there. There's the Focus book and there's the B book. Both are on audio. And the cool part about the audio is they're 2 CDs. I know it's old-fashioned to talk about CDs, but they're 2 CDs, and there's a workbook that goes inside because both those books got a whole stack of activities on them. So, yeah, you can get that from there. So making sure that you're focused. So if you want to beat procrastination, if you're a procrastinator and you're going, oh, wow, you're talking to me now, here's what I suggest you do. Forget about finishing and focus on starting. You only have to focus on the first step. What's the first step you want to achieve? What's that first step you want to achieve to be able to move yourself forward? I get that the audio is not a CD. Yeah, I get that. No, it's not an audio book because I don't have a relationship with the with Audible at this point in time. So it is on a CD. You can upload the CD to a device and then put it on iTunes and go from there. A little bit of a workaround. So if you want to get moving, then just focus on starting. Focus on the first step. I often say to people, look, if you've been procrastinating about starting an exercise program, don't start it. Don't start your exercise program. Go to bed in your gym gear. As soon as you get up in the morning, walk to the kitchen, you've started. People, I'm being procrastinating about cleaning out my wardrobe. Well, don't clean out your wardrobe. Just go to your sock drawer, open up the sock drawer, pull out one that doesn't have a friend and release it into the wild. You know, it's that simple, you know, to be able to do that. So, you know, the whole focus piece must come back to a goal and, more importantly, back to your daily rituals. So what are the rituals that you need to focus on every day to move yourself forward? So some of my rituals are really simple. Professionally, it's contacting 7 people every day. How do I do that? A note, an unconditional gift, a phone call, a text, an email, or a LinkedIn message. So that's what I do. I read every day. I do meditation. And my meditation is 5 or 6 out of 7. So, you know, so what I say to people is you can have a scale. You know, is it a 4 out of 7, 5 out of 7, you know, 6 out of 7 ritual as part of that process.
I like that.
Just making sure you do that. I might field some questions. Is that okay?
Absolutely, yep. So guys, if you've got a question for Keith, if you want to just put it into the chit chat there, that would be awesome, and we will kind of, you know, get to each of those while you're doing that, while you're thinking of them as well. Just so many kind of pieces of gold I've been scribbling away here, as you do. I am going to make a point though, guys. I know that we do love our audiobooks and all of that. This is not a regular book. This, I am going to really encourage you guys to get the hard copy, because it's a workbook. You can see all my yellow bits here. If you see them all, guys, okay, you literally are going through and you're filling it out as you go. So it's not like, exactly, there you go. It's not just a regular book. So I'm going to encourage you really and truly to actually get the book and work through the book. This is actually show up, put the work in type of thing. And as Keith says, there's also then the wall planner as well, which you're going to be able to, everybody's going to be able to get the download anyhow, or a version of, and that, but I would really, really encourage you to do. Okay, so let's have a look. When we do our 100 goals, should we date them all, or should we split them into years, or so on and so forth? So,
yeah, really good question. Thanks for that, Paul. I wouldn't go that far, because I think that's always a shifting time. What I would do in regards to your list of 100 is read them on a regular basis, add to them, take ones off. If you're in a relationship with somebody, have a list together as well as individually, but have a list together. And the other thing I'd do is go through your list on a regular basis, and then go, well, you know what, of these 100, here are the 5 that I'm going to transfer over to my list for this year, and do it that way. So yeah, good. Yeah. Somebody asked a question just there about email being impersonal. Yeah, look, I'm with you on that. One of the things that I'm finding in regards to email is that I don't like, in my business, the people that I'm dealing with on a regular basis, CEOs, director of sales, people like, they're getting 100 or 150 emails a day. They're only answering the ones where the house is on fire from an internal person. They're not getting, they're not necessarily answering my emails. So I do a lot of mail. I know it sounds old fashioned, but the postcard in the mail, the handwritten note, the unconditional gift, those types of things. Oh, hello, yeah, that's right. And I try to mix it up a little bit.
Yeah.
Because, and here's the reason why. I know it sounds old fashioned, but it's not because I'm an old dinosaur. It's because nobody else does it.
And it's so true, Keith. And again, guys, for each of us, social media, all of that has changed, I suppose, the look of our businesses over the years. We know that. However, if you want to be somebody that actually stands out, mix it up, most definitely. Like, not just a messenger, stick it out. Many of you would have gotten, or, if you've achieved something, we still like to send out cards.
Yeah.
And that as well. Just having that little thing in the post where you just go, you know what, it's great just to receive something. They kind of go, oh my gosh, and they remember you. You move then from being that person that they either met online or met at a networking event to somebody then that actually is kind of elevated Plus, they're more likely to actually then reply to your emails if you send them in her because you've moved up in their standing, so to speak.
And understand this, we have to get the distinction here, Selene. We have to communicate less, but connect more.
Absolutely.
People will answer my email if I have a connection with them.
Mm-hmm.
So if I've sent something in the mail to them, you know, we just sent out a whole stack of books to people from a conference that I went to a whole stack of leaders. And I just made you know, I said, look, I didn't have a chance to actually personally meet you, but I saw you present on stage at your conference. I'd love to connect with you on LinkedIn. And by the way, I'd love to send you one of my books. Just let me know what the best address is. And, you know, we got 100% response for that.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
You know, because, and I'm saying, oh, Keith, it's okay, you got a book. No. It's like, you know, law of reciprocity. Give something to people before you want something in return.
Yeah,
a couple of Tracy, you said there, you know, how do you, let me go back to your question. How do you get past the negative noise in your head? Great question. You got to saturate it with the sense of achievement. So if the one way to silence the lizard brain in the back of your head that says you're not worthy, deserving, capable, you can't do this, all of those types of things, is to saturate it with activity. So I love this quote, and the reason why I love it is I thought of it, is activity cures inactivity. So if you've got negative thoughts going on, it's because you're probably not doing exactly what you need to do. So go and take action. And the key with action is don't wait for everything to be perfect. Focus on progress, not perfection.
Mm-hmm.
And you know, like a good plan implemented today is better than a perfect plan implemented tomorrow. Your goal is not to get it right. Your goal is to get it going. Then you'll get it.
Yeah, I love that. Saturated with activity. The one I use is doubt will take you out of action, but action will take you out of doubt.
Yeah, I love that. And see, we're talking about that. You know, doubt sees the darkest day, certainty sees the light of day. Doubt asked who believes, and certainty answered, I believe.
I believe.
And, you know, and here's what you have to do, Tracy. You have to believe in yourself, that to be able to say, you know what, that's not me. Whatever my brain is saying, that's not me. And the activity is the contrary point of view. Activity will decrease the doubt as you go and take more activity. Think of it like this. Clarity plus confidence equals certainty, which gives you consistency. How many of us on this call are consistently inconsistent? So
love that one. So clarity plus confidence equals certainty, which will give you consistency. I hope you've all written that one down, guys.
Timing is perfect. Thanks, very wonderful. Oh, I just saw My Heart. Yeah, there's a great book on that. Like that. That's good. That's a wonderful book. If you're not where you want to be for your 1 year goal after the 90 days or 6 months, do you readjust things to make the date further away or aim for something smaller? Look, I tell you what, Kylie, that's a really good question. Here's what I know about goal setting, is that it's not always perfect when you write it down. And you know what I think often happens? It's the 11th hour, it's the 23rd hour on the 59th minute that the goal comes through. And it doesn't look like. Share a quick little story with you. So my goal always is to present about 100 times a year. So I've been doing that for the last 20 years. I got to end of November last year, and I'm going, geez, I'm like short about 10 presentations. And to be perfectly honest, December is a quiet month for me. And I think, you know what, I'm not going to get this goal. But I'm not going to give up on it. I'm just going to hold true to the goal. And lo and behold, no sooner did I say I was going to hold true to it, that somebody rang up and said, can you do, I know it's short notice, can you do, 5 road shows, 5 presentations for us, bang in 1 week, can you come and speak at this? And all of a sudden, we got to 101. So I think sometimes you just got to hold on a little longer. You can adjust your plan, absolutely. You might have to increase your activity, but hold on to the goal.
Yeah, I think that's vital, and especially in our business. I honestly see miracles happen at that, that literally that 59th minute.
Yeah.
End of month, guys, you know what it's like. It can be just miracles happen. So I just always remember that we're believing in you. Sometimes you don't believe in yourself, so you want to pull back. You kind of think, oh, it's not going to happen. But when you are stay true to what if you've gone through this process that Keith has actually stepped through with you, and you really are truly on track, and you've done all the other things, you've linked the emotion, you've done all of those types of things, hold true to it. And yes, you may have to adjust at times. I'm not saying that you're not going to have to do that at sometime. However, what I know to be true over the many years of doing this, kind of like what Keith does, is that when you really do show up and you make the commitment to your goals, the universe, God, whatever it is that you believe in, transpires to make it all kind of happen as well. So get into it, amazed what can happen.
Just a couple of questions here. Catherine, can you buy the book in New Zealand? We will ship it from here to New Zealand. If you just send us an email, so keith@keithabraham.com.au, Christine will give you a price on what it is to ship it to NZ. What do you mean by hold true? I think Celine just answered that one. Do you think LinkedIn is a good forum? Look, LinkedIn is, I always think of LinkedIn as the business, as business Facebook.
Yeah.
You want to put it like that so everyone understands. I do, most of my clients are all, I do mostly corporate events, so it's a good forum for me. Thanks for wisdom, Keith. Yep. Yep. Thanks, you got amazing advice. Thank you. This is what I need. Wonderful. Gee,
awesome. Sounds good. All right, excellent. Okay, so we know that we've got the website there.
The resources. Sorry.
Yes.
So you go to KEITHS, KEITHS, resources.com. What's going to be on there is you sign up for my blog. You get the 60-minute audio recording of the goal setting process that you can re-listen to. Oh, thanks, Lynn. KeithResources.com. Yeah, perfect.
That is, yeah.
You'll also get 400 examples of people's 100 goals to help you get to 100. And you'll also get the A3 version of the 8-step goal setting process.
Fantastic. That is brilliant. Well, Keith, thank you so much. What an hour of power that was today. As I said, I don't know about the rest of you guys, but I've taken pages of notes. Plus, I've got my workbook here already anyhow, working through there as well. But absolutely fantastic. Really appreciate your wisdom, my friend.
Yeah, absolutely. Just that my keith@keithabraham.com.au you'll get in touch with my office through that, and we can sort out a price on the shipping for the book for those people in NZ.